Hello and good evening, everybody. This is the monthly live stream of the Study Service Computer Science at Paderborn University. My name is Harald Selke, as you can read right here. And as I said, this is our monthly live stream. So always on Thursdays at 6 p.m. local time, which currently still is the summer time, so Central European Summertime, CEST. From next month onwards, it will be on without the summertime because we're switching back to standard time. So then it will be 6 p.m. CET, so Central European time. So just in case you hear this later on and you want to tune in next month, just keep in mind that you might need to adjust a little bit, whether depending on where in the world you are, of course. All right, so what's our plan for tonight? It's just the same as it ever was. Usually we have these, as I said, on every month. It's a monthly live stream. We have, in fact, 2 live streams per month. On the first Thursday each month, there's one for the bachelor program that is in German. The program as well as the live stream is in German. Excuse me. And on the third Thursday each month, we have this one for the master. In general, those are the dates. There may be some exceptions, like for example in March and September we never have a program. That's when I take a little time off. So last month there was no live stream here. The last one before this one was in August. You can check it back. All the older live streams are all still available on here on the YouTube channel. You just need to go through the playlists. They're not visible immediately. And the next one will be in November, but it will probably not be on I think it's the 20th of November, something like that, 22nd of November. It will not be in that week because I need to travel on that particular date, and I will not be here in my office, so will not be able to do the live stream then. Instead, it will be either a week earlier or a week later. I haven't decided yet, but you'll find the notifications on our website as well as here on YouTube, of course, where the next live stream is always announced once one live stream is over. So when the next live stream at the end of first Thursday next month, first Thursday of November for the bachelor is, immediately after that you'll see when the next live stream for the master program will be. All right. So having said that, with that out of the way, what are we going to talk about today? Well, or tonight. For me, it's tonight. For you, maybe today. As always, anything you would like to talk to us should be somewhat related to studying computer science and preferably studying computer science at Paderborn University. But if you have different questions, we can also see if we can address them here. But maybe I will not be very helpful with other questions. So on the one hand, we will be talking about things which are relevant for our current students. The semester has just started, so I'll talk a little bit about that. And of course, then we can also talk about things for prospective students. So if you are listening out there and you have any questions regarding our master program in computer science here at Paderborn University, just feel free to ask them. Or if you would just want to say hello in the chat here right next door, I don't know if it's there, over there, or over there. So just feel free to leave your comment there, as long as it's a nice comment. So don't be rude. Don't do any nasty stuff there. Apart from that, everything is okay. So if you just want to say hello and where you are from, of course you're welcome to do that. All right. So first thing, as I said, I'd like to start with a little bit about about the current situation, what's currently going on here, and that might be of interest for students on the one hand who just started here at Paderborn University, and also on those who have enrolled for the winter semester but are not here yet. We have a couple of students that have not yet arrived at Paderborn University, or just have done so just recently and have not had any contact with us at the study service here. And then also some information for our students who are already just in the normal master program. There's additional information for you as well here. So just to give a short orientation, we started with our lectures just this week. So the semester times are always, as those who are here already know, but it might be of interest to other people as well. Semester always runs from 1st of October until 30th of March, 31st of March, and then from 1st of April until 30th of September. That's always the program, the schedule for the semesters. That's the general thing with all universities in Germany. Universities of applied science are a little bit different, but normal universities have this kind of schedule. And but that doesn't mean that lectures will be taking place all the time. But usually we have a longer semester break in between when the lectures already stopped and before lectures start again. And so, while technically our semester started on 1st of October, the lectures only started at the beginning of this week. So, what was it? Monday, 13th of October, something like that. I need to check. What was it? Yeah, it was the 13th. So 13th of October, that was the first day of our lectures having started. The week before that was dedicated to welcoming our new students. That relates to the bachelor students as well as to the master students. So we had welcome meetings here, gave you orientation, and walked you around the university so that you know where to go to find some food, where to go to find your lectures and your tutorials and so on and so forth. We also made a program where you got information about what your program should look like, how you can choose courses, what you should pick in your first semester here, and so on and so forth. So we did that during the welcome days. Also, we had a little get-together in the evenings in a nice place in the center of the city. And so that you just get to know the other students who started along with you, so that you can bond and build some social connections, build your social network in a real sense, not just in a virtual sense. So that was basically what we did last week for the bachelor students for the whole week. For the master students, we always compress that into 2 days, which are usually on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So if you're planning to come to Paderborn in next April, you can already take note of the dates. The welcome days will then be on the 8th and 9th of April. So if you plan to start your studying here in April next year, then I would strongly recommend to try to be here by the 8th of April, because then, as I said, all these welcome events and all the orientation will take place then. So it's a very, very good idea to be here by that time. By that time. So I need to drink a little bit. It's non-alcoholic. It's apple juice. Although we in Germany like to drink beer, it's no beer. So, all right. So that's important to keep in mind. So if you're planning to come here, you learn a little bit about, when I'm talking now about how this semester started, you'll also learn a little bit about how it will look like next semester, because it will basically be the same thing again then. Same but different. So right now, as I said, we had these welcome days, and then we started with our lectures on Monday. So if now you are one of the students who has not been here for the welcome days, who has started in this semester and has not been here for the welcome days, be it an international student or a German student from another university, for example, or even one of our own students from our own bachelor program, though they should know how to find their way around the university, hopefully by now, after studying for a couple of years in our bachelor program. But regardless, of course, everybody who starts their master is invited to those welcome days to take part in them. But if you couldn't be here for whatever reason, there's one very, very important thing, and that is try to get into contact with us as soon as you arrive here. So if you arrived later than the welcome days, or didn't take part in the welcome days for whatever reason, please contact us as soon as possible. If you don't have already contact with us, of course, that is, or with our mentor, Ans, that is. I'll talk about her in a moment. And if you didn't hear of about anything I was talking about right now so far, then all hope is not lost. But still, you can contact us, of course, or you should contact us. And if in particular, if you have not yet arrived in Germany, or just arrived yesterday or 2 days ago or something like that, make sure that you contact us as soon as you are in Paderborn, so that we can bring you up to speed, so that we can tell you, give you all the information you need to have a successful first semester, hopefully. I should also mention, we often get that question, what is the latest date when I can arrive if I can't make it in time for the beginning of the lectures? And it's very, very important that we always very strongly recommend being here for the first lecture in each semester, because in this first lecture, usually a lot of information, especially all the organizational stuff, what the content of the course will be, so a short overview of the contents, but also what are the prerequisites, also what do you need to do, what kind of assignments do you need to do during the semester, what kind of exam will there be in the end, will it be a written exam, an oral exam, or whatever. So all this, and also which deadlines you need to observe. So by which time you will have to do what. I'll talk about that as well in a moment. All those things will be told to you in the first lecture, or in the first lecture of each and every course. And of course, those dates move around, and the criteria might be different in different courses. So it's important that for each and every lecture, you really go to the first lecture. But if you are not here, you can't, of course, obviously. In that case, and if you're coming late for this semester, as I said, we often get the question, what is the latest date when I can arrive at Paderborn University to start my master program? And to be honest, there is no fixed last date when you can arrive here. So, but on the other hand, it's also a sad truth that the later you come, the less probable it is that you will be able to pass any courses. Because if you miss the first 4 weeks, say, for example, of some course, then of course much work will already have happened in those first 4 weeks. And then it depends very much on you if you are able to cope with that deficit that you missed the course for the first 4 weeks, or if you are able to, if you already brought along such good knowledge that you can easily compensate for that. Or whatever you need to do, you might have to invest a lot of work then in order to get up to the level that the others have already reached in their first 4 weeks. Of course, once again, you might not be completely without help there, because you can always contact the lecturers. So if you already picked a course, which again is difficult because you don't know how to pick courses, because we weren't able to explain it to you because you weren't here. But if somehow you manage to find a course, to take part in it, to register for it, also to make sure that you can hand in assignments for that purpose, always, if you have picked a course, contact the lecturer of that particular course, and they will be able to tell you whether they have, for example, what kind of course material is available. Is it only lecture slides, or is there also a lecture recording, for example? For some courses, there's lecture recordings available. But you have to ask to address that question directly to the specific lecturer of the lecture that you will be attending, because there's nobody else. We, for example, at the study service, we don't know what exactly which lecturer does. So they don't tell us whether, I'm doing lecture recordings, and the other one says, no, I'm doing not. And those are the materials available, and so on and so forth. So please contact the lecturers of those courses immediately, directly. And that is no problem at all. You can, that's also very important information. You can always talk to everybody within our university. So be it a professor, be it a teaching assistant, be it a research assistant, you can talk to us, of course, in the study service. That's always possible. So don't hesitate that, and it won't reflect badly on you if you talk to someone and ask them questions. In particular, not if you're asking them what you can do to take part in the course. Nobody will. That will certainly not reflect badly on you. All right, as I said, if you have any questions, just keep them coming. So otherwise, I will just be mumbling along here and telling you all the things that I believe might be of interest to anybody out there, but I don't know if they're interesting for you specifically. So make sure that you use the comment section here and ask your questions so that I can try and answer them. That's the good thing about this kind of format, because you can ask us questions. Of course, you can also, in particular, if it's questions where you would kind of release some private or sensible information, in that case, sensitive information, sorry. In that case, of course, you should not post them here, but rather send us an email. Below this link, you'll find below this video, you'll find lots of interesting links. They are kind of categorized into different categories. And there's one of the, I think the first link below this video should be the one pointing to the study service website. And there's an email address on the study service website, and you can also send all your requests there. take the topmost. There are several. There's also my personal email address. It's also function address, in fact, for me for that only I read currently. But it's better to address everything to the official study service email address, because the Studienbüro at Studienbüro at Uni Paderborn, Studienbüro Informatik at Uni Paderborn.de, sorry. Study Service Computer Science at Paderborn University, that would be in English. It's best to send your emails there, because then it goes into a ticketing system, and then there's the whole team of us who will be able to reply to you. So you usually get quicker responses when you send your emails to that address instead of sending them to me directly. And if you send anything to me directly, I will, at the next opportunity when I read the mail, I will forward them into this ticket system anyways, so it will land up there anyway, but it just might take longer until it is there and will be addressed then. All right. So as I said, semester has started, and now if you want to take part in a course, this is now particularly interesting for those people who have just started here with us. The older students should already know that hopefully, but for the new students, of course, we also talked about this during the welcome days. But what you need to do now is you have to register for all those things. So if you want to take part officially, then you need to register, and you do that within the PAL system. The PAL system is currently, as we're speaking, is not functional for some reason. I don't know exactly why, but it should be up hopefully very soon again. And within the PAL system, which is our central university management system for everything related to teaching and learning, there you need to register for modules and courses. Those who are already here know that we have. Our structure is the course program consists of a number of modules, and within each module there is usually exactly one course. And you have to you always have to register for both, for the module first, for the module, and then for the course. And in the PAL system, it sometimes is a little confusing, because there's lots of modules listed, and for some modules there are no dates given when the lecture will take place. And that is usually visible because you always have these bluish-gray bars where the module is mentioned, and then below that, if there is no gray bar and a white area below that, immediately below that, showing a lecture also, then. But instead, the next module is shown again on the bluish-gray background. Then that means that this particular module is not being offered in this semester, because most of our modules and courses are being offered only once per year. So the other modules will not be available to you. So only when there is a bluish-gray module, and immediately below that, usually with the same title, there is a course mentioned, then this will take place in this semester. And only then does it make sense to register for the module. And you have to register for the module. You have to click on lots of questions, which you just basically always have to say, yes, I do, because they will ask you, do you want to take this course? And then you say, yes, I do want to take this course. And then it says, yes, okay, and you can take this course. And now please submit again. And then you click the submit button, and everything is good to go. And then you can go back to the course listing, and then you repeat the same thing for the course belonging to that particular module. You have to register for the module first. Only after you have registered for the module, you can then register for the course as well. And the best sign is always when you go to the overview of the courses, and then you'll see there it says where before it said register, it now says cancel. And if you click on the cancel button, then you can deregister from a course, which you can do absolutely without having done any harm until the 31st of December. So there's plenty of time for deregistering again. But registering is only possible until the 31st of October. So keep that in mind. And also, usually makes sense to register as early as possible if you want to take part in a course, because the PAL system speaks to another system, that's the PANDA system, and the PANDA system has all at least for most courses, all of the course material and everything. And so if you want to access the course material, and if you want to be able to hand in assignments, for example, and so on and so forth, so everything you need to do over the course of the semester, means that you have to use the Panda system. And you will only be added, in general at least, you will only be added to the Panda course if you have registered for the course in the PAL system. So if you want to take a course, register for the module, then register for the course, and then after one night, because there's a nightly build, a nightly synchronization between the two systems, from the next day on, you will be able to access the course material in the Panda system as well. So that's very important, and you need to do these registrations for modules and courses until the 31st of October. So keep that in mind. But as I said, the best idea is to do it very early, and the recommendation for the first semester is to pick up to 5 courses. No more than that. 5 courses is the maximum. You'll probably not be able to really complete 5 courses because you have lots of other things which are new to you, and so yeah, at least if you came from a different university, or in particular if you came from a different country. All right. So once those registrations have been done, then you can just take part in the course, visit the lectures, of course, visit the tutorials, have all the material available in the Panda system. But there is more coming up, and that is that you need to register at some point in time for what we call the Studienleistung, the course achievement, sometimes a qualifying participation, very rarely, to be honest. Most of the time it's course achievements, Studienleistung, and of course you have to register for the exam. And there's also fixed dates for that, and the registration for course achievements and for examinations is not yet open. It starts on the 22nd of October, so yeah, you'll have to wait until then. And from that point in time, until the 26th of November, you have time to register for the course achievement and the exam. So what is the course achievement? The course achievement is something, is not there for every course, so there may be courses where there is no course achievement. But those courses which do have a course achievement, there you'll have to hand in assignments usually, or do some kind of work. The lecturer will announce exactly what you need to do to pass the course achievement in the first lecture. So if you missed the first lecture, make sure to contact the lecturers or the tutors of that particular course and ask them what you need to do to pass the course achievement. Regardless, you always have to register for the course achievement. If you didn't register for the course achievement but still did the work, that doesn't help. So you have to do the work, and you also have to register for the course achievement. There are possibilities for late registrations, but you shouldn't use them in general. Just make sure you just register for the course achievement. So in general, the idea is once you have registered for a module and you have registered for the course, and the 22nd of October is there and you're still in that course, just register for the course achievement and register for the exam for the first examination phase, because deregistering is possible until very, very long. I'll talk about that later on. So just register for those two, and you can't forget it. So if you, for a course, you don't find a course achievement where you can register for, then obviously that course doesn't have a course achievement. Make sure you can still check with the module handbook or ask the lecturer if there really is no course achievement, and then they will tell you, yes, that's true, there is no course achievement, and then you're good to go without a course achievement. But the course achievement is important because only if you pass it, for those courses where one exists, only in those courses, when you pass the course achievement, will you be allowed to take part in the exam. So if you fail the course achievement, you will not be able to take part in the exam. Why do we do that? It's a kind of protection mechanism for you, because we believe that you need that when you're doing the course achievement, because this will be something continuous in most cases, like, for example, weekly assignments or something like that. And we believe that only if you have a good level of understanding and show that over the semester, only then will you be able to pass the exam in the end. And while you can try the course achievement as often as you like, you have an infinite number of attempts until your visa runs out. We won't throw you out of our program. This is different for the exam. In the exam, it's always that you can only take it 3 times. And if you fail an exam 3 times, then that module is kind of burnt. You can't use it anymore. That does not mean that your study has come to an end. pass. Definitely not at this point in time. You can fail a number of modules as long as you can compensate for that. We won't talk about the compensation in detail. Just be aware that there are ways to compensate a module if you have a number of modules, in fact, if you have failed them completely. But that's the reason why we have this course achievement, only because we believe that you will then be good prepared in a proper way so that you can take part in the exam and also have a good chance of passing it. Again, there's no guarantee of passing the course, the exam, of course, but we believe, in fact, we don't just believe it, but experience shows that in those cases it is much easier for you to pass the exam in the end. And if you didn't do the course achievements, then it will be much harder for you. So that's why we have these rules here in place. And as I said, you'll need to register for those until in this time frame between 22nd of October and the 26th of November. Try not to miss those dates. If you did miss them, contact us as soon as possible and we'll tell you what you can do. But ideally, you just observe those deadlines, and ideally, as I said, when on the 22nd of October you're still in the course, you should simply register for the course achievement as well as the exam. You can deregister later on. You can deregister from the course achievement, in fact, until mid of January, and you can still deregister from the exam until 2 days before the exam takes place. So no need to worry there right now. We'll talk about those things in a live stream later on during this semester once again, so that you don't miss those deadlines. So just make sure that you tune in again to this live stream, and you'll always be up to date with us here. That's what we're here for. All right. There's one important thing, though. What I said now is just true for kind of the normal modules. That is the ones which are like lectures and tutorials. So most of our normal modules and the courses that we teach consist of lecture, 2 or 3 hours of lecture per week, plus 2 or 3 hours of tutorials per week. And there is 2 different kinds of modules that are in our course program, and those are seminars and project groups. And we won't talk about those right now unless you have any questions about them in particular. But apart from that, because those are not interesting for your first semester. In your first semester, you never take a seminar and you never take a project group. You only start that once from your second semester onwards. So, but if you are here with us right now and are already in a higher semester and thus taking part in a seminar or in a project group, just keep that in mind, that you need to you can register and deregister. You need to register for the exam, by the way, in a seminar and a project group as well. In the project group in the first semester, you need to register for a course achievement, and in the second semester of this project group, you need to register for the exam. So make sure it's not enough to just register for the seminar and the project group, but also make sure that you are registered for the exam, or in the case of the first semester of a project group, also for the course achievement. And those, again, of course, that's being done between 22nd of October and 26th of November. And the important thing here is, if you are part now of a seminar, but you don't want to stay in that seminar, but you want to leave the seminar, you want to deregister, you can only do that until the 26th of November. So that will be the last day when that is possible. After that, there is no more chance to get out of a seminar. All right. All right. In the meantime, we've got some question. We've got a question here. Yeah, just excuse me, but I'm just always trying to get my train of thought to an end before I address those questions. They won't get lost here. No worries about that. But just don't want to interrupt that stuff. Answer a question and then go back to the topic I was talking about before. So I'll always kind of end what I'm talking about, and then as soon as possible I'll come back to your questions. But so far I've never forgotten to answer a question, so we're always able to do that. All right, question here is hello, good evening here, and good night probably for you already. So you've done your bachelor's from University of Mumbai, India, and the program was taught in English. Will my MOI be accepted? In this case, yes, it will be. assuming MOI was, yeah, well, you said it was taught in English. So in that case, yes, it will be accepted. Because in general, just for students who come from other countries, the rule here is that if in the country that you are living, or, sorry, not where you're living, where you have studied your bachelor, that's the important place. So in the country where you have completed your bachelor, if in that country English is an official language, which is it is in India, and also the program was completely taught in English, which here obviously was the case. In that case, that will be accepted. That's okay. If, however, the country in the country where you completed your bachelor, English is not an official language, like for example, say, I don't know, Cameroon or Ethiopia, for example. In those cases, an MOI of English medium of instruction in English would not be sufficient. In that case, and then you need some kind of language, independent language certificate from an independent institution like TOEFL or IELTS or CAE, or there's different things. We have a link below this video also to our website where there's information for international students, and there it's exactly described what kind of language certificates are available, and a number of certificates are available there, and it should be plenty, and also what exactly the rules are that I just mentioned orally. So in the case of India, that is okay. However, there's a big however here, and that is, in the past, we have experienced, we've just been told this because we can't verify that independently, but we have been told that students, even from India, did not get their visa, a study visa for Germany from the consulate or whoever issues those visa, because the consulate, whoever the issuing authority, the visa issuing authority, decided that the people would need to have some kind of either English or German language proficiency certified by an independent institution. So in that case, as I said, I can't verify that. We've only heard that, and we don't know which consulate that was, or if it's a general rule in all Indian or maybe all, I don't know, Eastern Asia or Southern Asia, Asian consulates or whatever. So I would strongly recommend contacting the visa issuing authority, which is there for you, where you have to go to, and ask them whether they need additional proof of English language proficiency. As I said, we at the university, here at Paderborn University, that's only our program here at Paderborn University. Other universities may handle that differently. So if you plan to apply not only to Paderborn University, but also to other universities, although we are the best, of course, so if you're planning to also apply at other universities, they might have different rules. So they might say, no, for us, even if English is an official language in that country, that is not enough. Also keep in mind, again, it is an and connection, what I mentioned. So English must be an official language in the country where you completed your bachelor, and the medium of instruction must have been English. So even if you are from Canada, for example, where English obviously is an official language, but you have studied at Quebec or Montreal, for example, and you studied in French, then your medium of instruction was probably not English. And in that case, once again, you would need an independent certificate. Although probably most Canadians, I'm not sure, I've met Canadians even in Western Canada who were from Quebec, and they didn't speak very good English. So maybe there is a reason why we still need those certificates. All right, so just keep that in mind. And as I said, what the consulates decide, on which rules they base their decision, what kind of English language proficiency or German language, of course, proficiency you need. This is something that we have no information about and also no influence on. So it has just come to our attention that people have had problems there in the past. So I would suggest to make sure as early as you can if MOI alone is enough for you as well, for the visa issuing authority as well. All right. Arkansas, you were very interested in the topics, hi, by the way, interested in the topics in signal processing subject for this semester, but it's a seminar class and the lecturer advised us to take SSP as a base, which is not offered to the CS master students. Yes, indeed. No, this doesn't really make much sense. So obviously, Arkansas is already studying here with us. So just to sort that to make that clear. This is very strange. That should not be the case because you did not have SSP, of course, because you wouldn't be able to take that course anyways. Because if that course still existed, it would have been taught in German, and that wouldn't make any sense to take part in that course. So we wouldn't be able. You wouldn't be able to participate in that course anyways. Instead, we have now the courses which are called operating systems and computer networks, but those are also taught in German. Computer networks is in fact taught in English this semester. But once again, those are from the bachelor program, and those are not part of your master program. And no, simply no. There can't be a requirement for you to have taken specific courses from our university because you probably have studied somewhere else at a different university. So the lecturer of the signal topics and signal processing class should not make any such announcements. That's simply not the way it's supposed to work, because you bring along a kind of a different background, because you had different course. I'm assuming that you didn't study here at Paderborn University in our computer science program, and then you probably bring along a similar experience as is required in or as has been taught in SSP from your courses, because you probably had a course in computer architecture, and you had a course in computer networking, and you probably had a course in operating systems, for example, because most of our students that we allow into our master program have had those kinds of courses. So that doesn't really make much sense. And it's also a bit strange that they say it is a seminar class, because I don't know what they mean by that. There is no. I'm just checking here in the meantime. So I'm just making sure. But I'm not. It's not in here. Sorry. Yeah. Can't find it immediately, so I would have to look around a little bit before I find the exact information. But in general, the class should not have any upper limit of people who can take part in it or anything. So in theory, in my understanding at least, it should be a normal class consisting of lectures and tutorials. And so I don't know what he means by saying this is a seminar class. All right, there is another additional comment here on that. Although topics in signal processing is in the focus area for data science and intelligent systems, I really love your input on this as well. I'm planning to take TSP next winter semester. Either way, thank you. Yeah, but probably next winter semester there will be the same problem. The lecturer will probably say the same thing again. But yeah. So I'm to be honest, I'm a little confused. I would suggest talking. Yeah, the problem here is normally I would talk to the lecturer of that course, but this is a course, and that's why we were hesitant. We've just re-added it to the master program. That's why I can't find the information immediately, because this course used to be in our program. But it is a course which is not taught from our computer science staff, but it's taught from someone in the electrical engineering department, and they sometimes have some differing opinions on certain things than we have. And when we switched to the new regulation system, this course was originally dropped. The topics in signal processing course was completely dropped from our program, and it was only reintroduced right now for this semester. And so I really don't know what is going on there. Because, as I said, normally it should be just a normal module and everything should be okay. Really, I need to see if I can find some information on this course. Just a second, please bear with me for a moment. Topics in signal, there it is, topics in signal processing. Yeah, I don't have the current module description here, but in the description here it says this is 2 hours of lectures and 2 hours of contact time. And they say something of a group size of 20 participants. So it may be that they enforce this in the electrical engineering department. We in the computer science department never do that. In seminars and project groups it's a different thing, but normal courses, like if topics in signal processing was taught by our staff, it would be a normal course, and in that case we would never have an upper limit of the number of participants that can take place. You can see that right now when we have the Machine Learning 1 course, which currently has like 250 students in it, which is horrible, but we still do it. We don't limit the number of students who can take part in a module unless it's a seminar or project group for different reasons. So this is very strange to me, and this again is yeah, I don't know how to verbalize it, but that's why I always felt very uncomfortable with this kind of course. We have another course where I'm also very uncomfortable with, because it's not clear whether the course is in English or in German. It just says languages German and English. And so I really don't know if I would ever recommend going into any of those courses, to be honest. This is not something I would like to be quoted on, so don't mention it. It just stays between us here on the channel. But I really see this is a serious problem that we are having here. I will try to find out if we can do something about that, but I guess we won't. And I would probably recommend take a different course. Sorry. I guess it's simply if it seems like they don't want to have our students in those modules, and this is something which I don't like at all. But this is the vibe I'm getting from this kind of answer from the lecturers. So really, I would be very hesitant to take that course if I were you. Sorry, just my personal private opinion, not my professional opinion. Officially, I would say go to the lecturer, talk to them, ask them if it's really not possible to take part in it, and then see what happens. Sorry for not having any particular answer. I'll come back to the other ones that I skipped right now. I have to present papers only. There are a few papers offered, and we have to take any of that. I've attended the first class, yeah. Then they obviously do it in a seminar style, and then they will have an upper limit of participants probably, which makes sense for that kind of course. But still, this is something we in the computer science department would never do. But if they do it like that, then there is no way. And then they have an upper limit. They have never communicated to us that they do have an upper limit. So I can't comment on that any further. Sorry, I'm afraid on that. I'm afraid I can't help you in this case. All right, coming back to Pratham, I don't know if English is official language in India. I'm a bit skeptical about it. Well, according to all the language, the country lists that we use here at the university, India has English as an official language. But as I said, it seems to depend very much on the visa issuing authorities. From our point of view, from when we evaluate your applications, and we see that you have done your bachelor, of course, in India, and the medium of instruction was English, then we will not require you to send any additional language certificates. That's all I can say at this point in time. So if you want to be on the safe side, take one of those tests like IELTS, TOEFL. We even accept Duolingo, for example, with a certain minimum number of points. So if you do that, that should then hopefully be good enough. Our university, we always send out in our official acceptance letters that you will receive by us from our international office. We always send in the information that there is the English language proficiency by the applicant, who we just have accepted, is sufficient. But this alone seems not to be convincing to some consulates around the world, it seems. But we don't know which ones they are, and we don't know what to do about that. Hi again. Hi, 55XE5525. Interesting username. Hi. All right. You are currently in your third semester. When do you recommend to start looking for a thesis, and what are some prerequisites that I should be aware of? Well, yeah, you just started your third semester, so there's still a little more time left. There's no need to hurry right now. Of course, you can always keep a watchful eye and look out for interesting theses. Like, for example, you could try and check the websites of the different research groups. You have probably already completed some courses, and there might be some courses which you think were very interesting, which you had fun in, which you liked very much. And of course, those would be courses then that might be there you already have some potential supervisors for your thesis. That is the lecturers and also the teaching assistants from those courses. Because keep in mind, while officially your supervisor will always be a professor or someone with a doctorate, so a PhD, someone who has completed their PhD already. There is kind of a secondary supervisor. It's not the second supervisor, but the kind of a person who's closer to you in supervising, while the professor is more like in the background. And then your kind of real supervisor, if you wish, might also be a teaching assistant who does not yet have their PhD completed. That's also fine. The official supervisor will still be the professor or a PhD, but the kind of the real supervision work is often done by research assistants who haven't yet completed their PhD. So if there was a tutor where you visited the tutorials, for example, or if there was a professor and you think the professor was good and you would like to talk to them, then of course you can do that and try to check out if they have theses available. You can also check their websites if they have any theses advertised, but if they haven't, that doesn't mean that they won't supervise any theses. It's just that they didn't advertise them, or that they just expect people to come by and talk to them and discuss things and then try to agree on a thesis. So a thesis does not have to be set, and also you don't have to come there with an idea for a topic, but you should have an idea about which area you would like to write in. Like, for example, if you've visited a course like, say, Machine Learning 1, for example, right now in this semester maybe, and then you think, well, machine learning was quite cool, so I'd like to do something in that area, and then you can already talk during the course now to the lecturer or to the teaching assistants. But of course, if you are in the Machine Learning 1 course, there's 250 people in there, so there might be a lot of competition there running, everybody trying to get a thesis there, maybe. So it might be hard to get a thesis in that field. Also, of course, if you are in your third semester, you probably already have taken a seminar or are currently taking a seminar. That would, again, be someone, if you like the seminar, that is, of course. If you think the seminar is, if you don't like the seminar, then you'd probably not go into that area. But if you like the seminar, of course, that would be a good person again, because that's a small group. It's just like 10 to 15 people probably there, and the supervisor of the seminar also already knows you or gets to know you if you've just started your seminar, and you know them, and then maybe you already know if the topic is nice, if you think that you can communicate with that specific person, and so on and so forth. And the same, of course, goes for a project group. This is usually, in fact, although I mention it as the third thing here, this is usually my primary recommendation, and that is, if you're in a project group and you like the project group and you're good, maybe even better than in those cases, then the people in the project group, because you've already worked together with them for, if you're in the second semester of your project group, and once you complete the project group, you already have worked with those people for roughly a year. And then they will know pretty well what you are good at and what you're maybe not so good at, and then hopefully you are good at some things, and then they might suggest a topic to you that suits you well. And also you yourself know what the way they are thinking, they are working, whether you really want to work with them, you know the people. and also you already have been working on a similar topic maybe, so you will probably not do exactly the same thing as in the project group, but maybe it's somewhat related to the work in the project group. So you already have some kind of prior knowledge to the area where you will now be writing your thesis next. So general idea would be like, if this semester has progressed a little further, like say, for example, December or maybe beginning of January, and maybe when the new year starts in January, then that might be a good idea to start looking to start looking for a thesis, in the sense trying to establish contacts to people, to potential supervisors, talk to them, and discuss with them whether they have any topics available, or and also, of course, you should be honest in how far what your progress is, how many courses you have already completed, or how many are still left. And also, of course, that's also one important thing. Don't just contact one person. But you can always contact multiple persons and people in parallel. So you can talk to one group, another group, and a third group, for example, or even a fourth group, and say, currently looking for thesis. I heard this, visited this lecture with you, or I took your seminar, or I took your project group, and I think it was quite interesting. And I think I would like to do my thesis somewhat in that area, because that was interesting to me, and I'd like to do more there. And then you can talk to them. And if you do that to multiple people in parallel, there's only one thing that is important: be always open and honest to them, and tell them, I'm not yet set on you. I'm still looking around, and I'm in contact with several research groups. You don't have to tell them in detail which ones, but just tell them, I'm also looking at other research groups, which is perfectly fine. It's absolutely acceptable. There's nothing bad about that. So you can really be open and honest about that. And even more important, once you have decided to settle on one of those topics, inform the other people that you won't take their topics. So that you have already settled on one topic, or on one supervisor, and that you won't need any supervision from the other groups, because then their capacity is freed again, and they can then offer these topics, or at least the time they would need to supervise you, they can then spend that for other people. So you don't block. If you talk to 4 people, and 4 people say, yeah, we've got a thesis topic for you. And then you decide on one, and the other 3 are still blocked because they think, yeah, well, the student might come back, and so we can't give this topic to anybody else. So then you're blocking 4 places, and 3 other people might be out there and looking desperately for a thesis, and they already will always be told by the others, sorry, I would have thesis free, but I'm still waiting for feedback from this one student, and unless I hear from him, I can't give this thesis away to anybody else, something like that. And so it's just to be fair to the other students, just to tell everybody once you have decided to go into a certain area. All right. So as I said, this mid of December, end of December is always a little difficult because that's Christmas time. But mid of December, or as I said, early January, starting with the new year, I think that would be a good idea. Starting the new year with a search for your for your master's thesis, of course, that would be quite nice. All right, Hazem Gamal, hello. Can we take more than 9 courses? Paul doesn't seem to allow. Yes, you can. You simply have to choose the additional courses as additional modules, or additional courses, or whatever they are called. I think additional modules. That's the way to do it. So 9 are the regular modules, because those are the ones everybody has to take, and everything on top of that, apart from seminar project group, of course, needs to be selected as registered as additional modules. And once you have completed any of those additional modules, you can then later swap them out against other modules, some of the regular modules that you either have not completed or have completely failed, hopefully not, those are the 2 cases, have not completed, or even if you didn't like the grade there, for example, and have a better grade in one of the additional modules. That's also a kind of compensation you can do. So if you only had a 3.0 in one of your regular modules, and then you take an additional module and have a 2.0 or 1.0 even maybe, then you can swap those out later on, and then the better grade will be used for your final degree certificates. And the additional modules which you have completed, because then there still might be, in that case, there would be still additional modules that you have completed. And if you have more than 9 modules completed, those additional modules can be listed on your final certificates. But you have to tell that before, or when you register your master's thesis, or before you hand in your master's thesis, you have to tell that to the examination office and tell them, I want those modules listed, those additional modules that I completed, I want to have those listed, the specific ones. You can pick which ones you want to have listed. I want to have those listed on my final certificates as well. Or you can simply say, no, I don't want to have them listed at all, which is the default case. Normally they would not be listed, but if you want to have them listed, you need to tell the examination office that you do want to have them. So that is absolutely possible. So you can learn much more than just with 9 modules. You can take up to, I believe, 5 or 6 additional, I think it's 5 additional modules that you can take. So plenty of things you can learn here with us. Can you deregister which I passed the course achievement of in a previous semester? Yes, you can do that. There's a limited number of times you can do that. You can do that up to 4 times, I believe. Personally, I would not recommend doing that unless you run out of additional modules. So if you have used up all of your 5 additional modules and you still have one of those regular modules with an open course achievement, as I said, because if you passed one of those additional modules, you can swap it against this course, this module where you didn't, where you only passed the course achievement but didn't do the exam. But I would still leave it open, because then you still have the option in a later year to, if like, for example, in a year from now, you decide, okay, I passed the course achievement back then, but I didn't take the exam or I failed the exam. And then if you do deregister it, then it's gone. But if you, maybe in a year from now, you think, well, maybe it was not so bad and I still want to do that course, then you still have the course achievement there. It's still waiting for you, kind of waiting for you. And you can then still take the exam and maybe pass it then. And if you don't, as I said, as long as you don't fill up all of your additional modules, it doesn't hurt anybody. So just I would suggest just leaving it open, just do nothing about it, just have it there, sitting there and doing nothing, just sitting, watching the wheels go round. So that would be my suggestion in this situation. All right. The question here is whether different language scores have any effect on the admission. No, they don't at all. And in fact, this is also a common misunderstanding. We don't have a limit on the number of students we accept into our master program. So it's not that we only pick the people with the best grades, with the best English language knowledge or whatever, or some kind of mixture between all of those things. We simply accept everybody who meets our requirements with no upper limit. So might sound unusual, but really we don't have an upper limit. We just look for your qualifications. And so if you pass the qualification, that is at the IELTS or the you don't need an IELTS because you have the MOI and the English as the official language, or if you pass CAE, or if you just pass with Duolingo, as long as you meet the requirement, you're good to go. Of course, there are additional requirements, and those requirements are, for example, that you need to have a minimum grade of 3.0. That means on the German scale, that is, and lower values mean better results. So 1.0 is the best grade you can have in Germany. There's a way to convert those your grade from your university to the German system, and the link is on our website below, which I mentioned earlier, which is the website with the information on for international students. And there is a link to another university where they have where you can enter your grades. You need to enter the maximum number, the best grade that would have been achievable at your university, like, for example, 10.0 or something like that, or 4.0 maybe. Then you'll have to enter the minimum grade that was required for passing. So, for example, say on a scale from 0 to 10, maybe the maximum is 10, and the minimum for minimum grade for passing, would be 5, for example, or 4 maybe, and then you enter your grade, like 8.73, and then this website tells you which is your grade, and if that grade is a value lower than 3.0, because as I said, lower grades mean are better grades in German. Lower numbers are better grades in German. So if the value is lower than 3.0, then you're good to go. But again, there will be more requirements. The next requirement then is if this value that you just calculated is between 1.8, including 1.8, and 3.0, including 3.0, in that case, you will need a GRE or a DMAT test. Again, look on our website, Information for International Students, and there are links to the GRE and to the DMAT websites where you can get information on how to obtain those tests and what you need to do to pass them. And also the minimum values are given on that you need to achieve in those tests are also listed on this website, Information for International Students. And then there's the third requirement, the third set of requirements, I should rather say, and that is that you need to have a sufficient background in computer science. So if you studied, for example, electrical engineering or petrol engineering or social media studies or civil engineering, then you'll probably not have enough background in computer science. If you studied something like computer science, you might have, maybe you didn't. If you studied computer science and engineering, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. If you studied computer engineering, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. If you studied software engineering, you probably didn't. Might come as a surprise, but that's the fact that we have seen from now 5,500 applications or so, which I have reviewed over the last, or we have reviewed here at our university over the last 6 years. So because there are specific requirements. What we deem adequate as background in computer science, and the background in computer, and we define that, and that's also available. The information is also available on this website, Information for International Students, link below this video. Then you'll find that you need at least 20 credits in theoretical computer science, 20 credits in software engineering, 20 credits in technical computer science, and 15 in technical computer science, and 15 in mathematical foundations of computer science. And what people usually lack is the background in theoretical computer science. Those are things like complexity theory, computability theory, algorithms and data structures, formal languages. Those are topics that need to be taught need to have been taught in your courses, and need to have been taught in your courses as major focus in those courses. So if you just had a course where there was a little bit of formal languages involved, like for example, a course on compilers, for example, there you probably have had something to do with formal languages, but that's not enough. So the compiler course would not count. But if you have a specific course which is just on formal languages and automata theory, for example, that would be a course that we would count. Analysis and design of algorithms is a course that we would count. Complexity theory, computability theory are courses that we would count. So those are the kinds of things we are looking for in your transcripts. And you need to have 20 credits, 20 of our credits, that is. So it then depends very much how many credits you have, and there is a factor involved there. And we in Germany, we have 30 credits for each semester. So what we then check is what is the average number of credits that you have had in your bachelor program. Like for example, if you had 20 credits on average in each of your semesters, then we would obviously apply a factor of 1.5, because 1.5 times 20 is 30. And that means that if you have at least 13 credits in theoretical computer science within your bachelor program, times 1.5 would then be 19.5, which is just half a credit short. And then we would say, okay, half a credit is nothing, so you're good to go. If you have more than 13 credits, everything would be good to go in that field. And the same goes for software engineering, and with 15 credits, as I said, for the other two areas that I mentioned earlier. But in most cases, theoretical computer science is the crucial point where we see that people lack the background in that area. And in that case, there's really not much wiggle room there. So we really need to check that and then see if you have enough enough credits in that field. So if you just have like 6 credits or 8 credits, for example, a 4-credit course on analysis and design of algorithms and 4 credits on automata theory or something, or data structures and algorithms, for example, then you would only have 8 credits in total, times 1.5 would then be 12 credits with us, and that is definitely too low. So in that case, regardless, even if your overall grade that you have is is the best grade you could have, if it's a 1.0, then still that would be too little theoretical computer science, and we would not allow you into our master program, because you really need that stuff in our master program. That's the important thing. It's not that we don't want you here, but we think that if you don't bring that background, you will not have a chance of passing our master program. And then you would come here and you would think, well, I've been accepted and I've got good chances to pass, to get my master's degree here. And in that case, we would lure you here with kind of a false promise. And that's what we don't want to do. So that's why we have the strict regulations where we say, well, we expect people to have this background. And from our experience, it shows that people who bring along that background really have a good chance. It's no guarantee that you get your master's degree here. We don't give it to everybody, and we don't hand it out as a present. You still have to do lots of things here, but then you will have a very, very good chance of really passing the master's degree at some point in time. So that's why we do these rigorous checks beforehand. And of course, I know when we reject people, of course, everybody is sad, yes, but as I said, we do it for a reason, because otherwise it would also be pretty unfair if we just said, yeah, just come by, everything will be good, and then you come here and then you'll find out nothing will be good, because it's way too hard. And in the past we had not so strict regulations. That's many years ago, like 6, 7 years ago. And at that time, we accepted many, many more people into our program, and many of them really were struggling, and many also failed because they found out that they don't have the background that is required for our master program. So yeah, that's basically the most important information about when you are considering of applying to our master program here at computer science master program here at Paderborn University. What is also important is that each and every university, and in fact each and every course program, has different requirements. So for example, if you don't have the background in theoretical computer science, as I just described, for example, that's why people who have, I mentioned earlier that people who have done a bachelor in software engineering, you would probably expect normally that they would be able to do a master in computer science. But in fact, many of the software engineering programs, not just the international ones, also in Germany, in fact, lack the background on the one hand in theoretical computer science, and secondly, in technical computer science. So there's 2 reasons, and sometimes even mathematics, but usually mathematics is not that much of a problem. But the other 2 often missing there, or not there in a strong enough number of credits, and that's why in that case we have to reject those applications. But however, if we reject your application, or if you check out on our website, that would be the ideal for us, in fact, that if you check the requirements on our website and take them seriously, and really check. Don't be too optimistic there, but just check realistically and think, do I really meet the background? Do I really have enough courses here in theoretical computer science, for example? And which ones would that be? And how many credits do I have? What would the factor be like? Like, for example, as I said, if you have 20 credits on average in your university, then it would be a factor of 1.5. If there's 15 credits in your university, we would apply a factor of 2. 15, as I said, on average. And if you then really try to be realistic there, and if you then calculate and find out, I've only got 12 or 15 credits in total in theoretical computer science, then it's probably not even worth the money investing for applying here at Paderborn University for the computer science program. But if it's just that, and if instead of theoretical computer science, you on the other hand have a strong background in electrical engineering, for example, then you might consider going instead into our computer engineering program, which I'm not responsible for, but my colleagues are. And so I won't talk too much about that program because I don't know all the details there. But what I do know is that they require less credit points in the area of theoretical computer science and more in the, but instead they require quite a bit of background in electrical engineering. So if you also don't have any electrical engineering background, of course that doesn't help you. But if you do have that background, then it might be worth considering going into the computer engineering course program here with us instead of the computer science program. So there are alternatives. And of course, while I should not make any should not be advertising other universities here, of course there are other universities in Europe, in Germany, where you can also go to. And in particular, you can also consider applying at a University of Applied Sciences, and they also, also for a computer science program, because as I said, those universities have different criteria, but if you go for and try to apply at Dortmund, Technical University Dortmund, for example, or Technical University Berlin as another example, the difference is not much. They have very similar requirements than we do. And if we reject your application because you had too little background in theoretical computer science, those universities will probably do the same. I can't guarantee that. I can't speak for them, of course, but from what I've seen so far, and what I've heard reported from other universities or from students who have applied at other universities, that will probably be the case. But there is one more alternative, and that is we also have in Germany the Universities of Applied Sciences. And as the name suggests, applied sciences, it's more on the application side. You can also do your master there. And they usually don't have require as much background in theoretical computer science. They also require a little bit. And again, it's different from university to university. But you might stand much better chances there, and there are a number in Germany which also offer English taught programs, so that's no problem there. And you might consider applying at one of those universities because, as I said, they need less in the department of theoretical computer science, but instead they will have other requirements. So always make sure that you check out the requirements. By the way, probably one of the best sites, or two of the best sites to get a good overview about master programs in Germany. On the one hand, that's the DAAD website. We have a link below this video. DAAD, and they have international programs, and then you can just enter computer science, and if you already know a certain city where you want to study, you can add that city enter that city there as well, and then you can take a look at the programs, and then they list all the details there. It's a very, very good website where you get all of the detail, many details, lots of information about the requirements and so on, and so the structure of the program and everything, all condensed on one website. It's probably preferable over our own website, I would say, in this respect. And the other one is called My German University. I'm not sure if I have a link below this video, but I should add it. I'll check that immediately after this live stream ends. And it's called My German University. And there you can also look for English taught master programs. Again, it's available for different subjects, but then you can also enter computer science and then see what kind of programs are available there as well. So that's the second good address that you can go to, DAAD and My German University. And as I said, links are below this video, or will be below this video once this live stream ends. Right, should I send a credit requirement analysis of credits that I have in my bachelor's, like how my bachelor's requirement? No, you don't have to do that. We'll do the matching. You simply send you need to send lots of documents, but UniAssist will tell you which ones, because you have to go with your application through UniAssist, and they will. On their website, you'll find the information, and also on our website, you'll find information what you need to send, like all your official certificates and everything, like the bachelor certificate, and also, of course, a transcript. And on that transcript, that is important, in fact, that on the transcript it is visible how many, on the one hand, the name of the course, the number of credits, and the grade that you had in that course, and also the total grade. The CGPA, usually it's usually called, should also be somewhere on your, either on the certificate or on the transcript. But again, the UniAssist will do the conversion of the grade for us, and then you're good to go. You don't need to give any, you don't have to bother yourself with attributing and saying this course I believe should be theoretical computer science and that course should be this or that. Some other universities require you to do that you say, I believe I've taken this course like design and analysis for algorithms, of algorithms, and I believe this is theoretical computer science, and this is why I have this number of credits here. But that's some other universities require you to do that. We don't. We just check that for ourselves because we know that many students would make the wrong attributions there, and sometimes they put a course in an area, and we would say, no, that's not really in this area. That's rather in that area, because the understanding of what theoretical computer science is not that widespread, although it's very easy to find. Just go to the Wikipedia, ask for theoretical and enter theoretical computer science, and then you'll get a Wikipedia article which then tells you pretty much what our understanding of theoretical computer science is. So, because I've seen people who try to argue with me that they've done a software engineering course and there was a lot of theory involved and that should be theoretical computer science. No, it's not. Theoretical aspects are in each and every university program, hopefully. And so the theory of theoretical models of software engineering are not part of theoretical computer science, but are a different thing. So just keep that in mind. So check out the Wikipedia definition of theoretical computer science and you'll get a pretty good idea what I'm talking about. As I said, design and analysis of algorithms. Typical course names are design and analysis of algorithms, data structures and algorithms, formal languages and automata theory, complexity theory, computability theory, or any combination of thereof. Those are usually the courses we will be looking out for. Those are the important courses. And the contents would be something like, for example, of course, analysis of algorithms. Obviously, you should be able to, if we give you some kind of algorithm, like, for example, a heap sort, you should be able to analyze that and tell us, and not just tell us what, just by heart, what the worst case or average case runtime of that algorithm is, but you should also be able to prove that, for example, to show why is the average runtime of the algorithm heap sort for n elements this and that. I won't give you a solution here. You'll have to find out yourself. So also you should know what a Turing machine is. You should know what NP-complete problems are. You should be able to prove that a certain problem is NP-complete by reduction, for example. So reducing the problem at a problem that is known to be NP-complete onto the new program, the new problem that you want to prove that is NP-complete. Or same goes for computability. Is a certain problem computable? Or if it's not computable, then you should be able to prove that it's not computable, and things like that. So those are the kinds of things we're doing in the theoretical stuff. You don't have to prove or disprove that P is NP, because that is still an open question, as you probably know. All right. A 1.7 grade according to the German system and bachelor's in computer science for 3 years. Yeah, okay. We would still need, as I said, we would still need to do to check the requirements, the computer science specific requirements, but with a grade of 1.7, then you're good to go without a GRE or a DMAT test. So you're good enough. Congratulations on that one. So you don't have to take a GRE or a DMAT test. If it would be 1.8 or higher, but 1.8 also, you would need one. But with 1.7, you're good to go. You don't need the GRE or a DMAT, and yeah, then we would just have the computer science specific requirements. Oh, mentioning computer science specific requirements and checking them, please don't send us any documents for pre-evaluation. We can't do those because we receive, and for the last winter semester now, we received like 680 applications, and it's simply not possible for us to do any additional evaluations on top of those 680 applications. So you really need to apply to get an evaluation, whether you meet the requirements or you don't. We can't offer that just on request. That's simply not doable for us. Unfortunately, it would be nice, but we can't. And I don't think you will find someone who will do that at any other university in Germany as well. All right. Is there anything else I would like to talk about? I guess not. I guess we are done for tonight, unless there are more questions coming in, of course. And I'll just leave it open for a moment, and you'll just have a few more seconds time to consider whether you do have any questions. But if you don't, then I would say we'll call it a day or a night or whatever. And I could remove this comment from here, of course, because we're not talking about this any longer. All right, yeah. Just to wrap things up, this was our basically monthly live stream. All right, there's one more question. Do I have to send the syllabus of my bachelor program? This may be helpful if you have some, if there are some kinds of, if you assume that there are courses in your bachelor program where we would misjudge from the title. So if you have a course that has a strange title, where you think if someone reads that title, they won't know. Like, for example, I just had an application these days, a couple of days ago, and they had theoretical and practical aspects of computer science, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, part 6. Okay, so in that case, we don't have any clue what has been taught in those courses. And in that case, the syllabus would be very, very helpful, because otherwise we can just say, sorry, but we can't see that you meet the requirements, so you will be rejected immediately. Because what can we say if we just have such a title like theoretical and practical aspects of computers, and there might be anything. So we can't do anything there. In that case, we would have to send a rejection, unless, of course, we have a syllabus, course descriptions inside, and then we can check, and then we see, well, in theoretical, in this part, theoretical and practical aspects of computer science, part 1 is just some kind of software engineering, for example, but part 4, for example, is in fact like algorithm design and analysis of algorithms, and then we just check through the syllabus and see, well, that's exactly what we're looking for. And then we see, all right, there's 6 credits in that course. Fine. Okay, so 6 credits there. And then we find another 6 credits in another module where we wouldn't have suspected it, and another 6 credits in a third one. And then we already have 18 credits, or say 15 credits, for example. And then we multiply that by 1.5, because at that university there was 20 credits in each semester, times 1.5 leaves us with 15 times 1.5 is 22.5, and so that's good to go. And that person can be accepted in that case. In this case, unfortunately, it was not the case, because it was only there were only 6 credits, in fact, and 1.5, so 9 credits, which was way less than the 20 credits required. Even after conversion, it was only 9. So in that case, yeah, we couldn't do anything. But as I said, the syllabus in those cases, that is course descriptions which tell us what has been taught in that course to some level of detail, not in all detail, so we don't need the slides from the course and everything, but there should be some kind of, ideally, official course description from the university. Often they have course descriptions available somewhere on the website. There's the complete curriculum or something like that. And in those cases where you are in doubt, then it's a good idea to have that scanned and sent along, because you can send those documents online, scan and send them along as a PDF file. But if it's courses where the names are clear, like, as I said, design and analysis of algorithms and data structures, complexity theory, formal languages and automata theory, in those cases, you don't need a detailed description, because we are then, if a course is taught under that name, we are assuming that these things have really been taught. So it's the benefit of the doubt. So we don't check in those cases exactly if this specific concept has been taught in that course. We don't go into that much detail. So we just think that if someone has enough, has something about that in a specific course designed around, for example, design and analysis of algorithms, then we believe that people should have enough background in that field Sometimes it turns out, this is also true, by the way, for the mathematical foundations. I've heard that from several students here with us, and they said they came here and we accepted them because there was even more mathematics in their curriculum than our own students have. So they had like 20 credits, so times 1.5 wouldn't be in that specific case, again, because they had 20 credits in one semester. So they had basically converted to our system 30 credits in mathematics, where our own students only have 24. So it was more than we would have expected them to have more mathematics. And also from the titles of the courses, we could see that they have topics like differential equations or numerics or something like that. And our own students don't have that background. So we said, well, that's great. They even have more background in mathematics than our own students have. And then when those students were here and I talked to them after a while, they studied here for like 2 years, 1 year, maybe 2 years. And I talked to some of them, and I've quite often heard them say that in fact, they said, well, when I came here, I thought I was quite good at mathematics, but after visiting the courses here, where we don't do any mathematics courses in our master program, but you just need the background. Because, for example, if you're doing machine learning, what is machine learning? Statistics, some kind, special kind of statistics. So you just need to have that. Same goes for data science. The people who run into the data science, into our data science group, and then they're horrified because they found out, that's lots of mathematics going on there. Yes, that is what data science and machine learning are about. Lots of mathematics. And then people are surprised, and then they think, well, it was probably not the right choice for me to do, and I thought I was good in mathematics, but really I'm not. So this is something we have experienced quite a number of times, unfortunately. Transcript theory subject is mentioned as cloud computing at the practicals. Yeah, in that case, for example, cloud computing at the practicals, I would strongly suggest adding information on those, at least on those particular courses where you are in doubt whether we would really consider that. Because to be honest, a course in cloud computing might be anything. It might be a very practical course where you just learn about something about networking maybe. So it might even be a technical computer science course. It might be very on the practical side, like how do you sync data in certain ways, in certain fashions. So there might be so many different things involved. In the course of cloud computing, I would not expect the analysis of algorithms, for example. I would not expect anything like Turing machines, stack automata, formal languages, finite automata, anything like that. I would not expect that, at least not as a focus of that course. There might be a single lecture where we talk about regular expressions, for example, or something like that, just like you would in a compiler course. But that does not make the complete compiler course a course of theoretical computer science. But that's just some kind of a little bit of theory which is needed for building compilers. And yes, it is from formal languages, but that is not enough for the complete course to count as theoretical computer science. And so probably, personally, I would be very skeptical if we can really consider a cloud computing course to be a part of theoretical computer science. But again, the benefit is with you. So as long as you can show us, yes, it was, that's why those 680 applications, while we need quite some time to evaluate those, because we really look into each and every application individually. And of course, cloud computing at this university might be something completely different than a cloud computing course at another university. And if we only see the title, we can't tell the difference. But if you send a course description along with it, then we might be able to say, that's been done in this course, and that might then be eligible for theoretical computer science. But just from the title, I would say I'm very, very skeptical whether we would count that. But as I said, as long as you can convince us, because we had that in the past as well. We have rejected applications, and then someone said, well, but you didn't consider this. And then I said, yeah, okay. Maybe we didn't, so just send us some additional information, and then we can reconsider. And then they sent us the additional information. We reconsidered and said, yeah, okay, you're good to go. We wouldn't have counted that course because we didn't have any idea what this was about. Some course. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Of course. That's exactly one of the just like this theoretical and practical aspects of computer science, part 1 to 6. If a subject is just called elective subject 1, and we don't have any idea what you have done there, and if that course was something which was really something where you say, yeah, I did exactly. That's exactly the course I took on. The most theoretical aspects that you can think of, like, for example, computability theory. And that was my elective subject number 1. Then, of course, please add a course description for that elective subject, because otherwise we won't have any idea, because elective subject might also be programming in JavaScript or something like that. And then we would not count that. We would not even count that towards software engineering, by the way. Programming courses would not count towards software engineering because programming is something that we expect every student to bring along, regardless of the rest of the program. So when we talk about software engineering, we really mean things like, for example, compiler construction would be something in that field, but also, of course, software engineering courses and things like that. So, yeah, should have to do something with a real software development, not just with programming. So a programming language is not part, is a basic foundation that we expect every student to bring along. All right. With that, for the time being, I think that was it. And now I'll finally, because we've already been going for 1.5 hours, this is not the last live stream of the computer science, study service computer science at Paderborn University, but we are back to normal, so to speak, and that means that from now on, again, at 6 p.m. on the third Thursday each month, we will have this this live stream here for the master program. First Thursday each month for the bachelor program at 6 p.m. also local time here at Paderborn in Germany. That is Central European summertime right now. From next month on, it will be Central European time. For the bachelor program, that will be in German, because the bachelor program is in German only, and or mainly in German, as I should say, or compulsory subjects are in German only. And also the live stream will be in German, and then we'll have the live stream for the master program, just like we did tonight, and that will always be on the third Thursday each month. Next month, as I said, it will not be on there, and I'll now check the real date. Where am I? It will not be on the 20th of November, which would be the third Thursday in November, but because I will be on, I'll be traveling from my job, and that's why I will not be here at Paderborn and will not be able to do a live stream. So in this case, we will then switch to another week, and we will inform you about that here on this live stream. So right after this live stream ends, I will add the new live stream, which will then be the bachelor live stream, and then once that live stream for the bachelor ends, which, as I said, would be on the 6th of November. Once that is over, then you will immediately be the new live stream for the master program will be announced. It will probably then be on the 27th of November. Can't promise that yet. It might also be shifted to the 13th, but probably on the 27th of November. So just keep out, or maybe just subscribe to this channel and hit the bell and everything, you know the drill, so that you get notified when there is a new live stream coming up. It would be just a suggestion, or just remind yourself of it and then join us back then. And we can answer any further questions then. That will still be a couple of days away from the deadline, because you probably know 30th of November is the deadline for applying through UniAssist, which basically all international students have to go through. 30th of November is the deadline for applications through UniAssist. You may hand in certain documents later, but you have to talk to UniAssist and ask them which documents you can hand in later and until when they are needed. But 30th of November would that then be. So we can still talk about the application for the summer semester on the 27th then, so in the next live stream here. And apart from that, of course, you can always apply once the deadline is over. From the 1st of December onwards, you can already apply for the next winter semester. So applications are coming up Again, so you can always apply year-round. There's no opening date for new applications. You can always apply at any time of the year. It only depends on how long you can apply for which semester. And as I said, for the next summer semester starting in April, you will have to apply until the 30th of November. Just keep that in mind. All right, that's it for tonight. I'll see you sometime soon, either in person here at Paderborn, because you are studying here with us, for example, or will be studying here with us at some point in the future, maybe. And otherwise, maybe you'll be able to see me here in the live stream again if you have any further questions. And as I said, recommend us to anybody who's interested in studying here with us or who is already studying here with us and might need some help, some orientation. And of course, you can also contact us through the means linked below this video on the first website linked in the link below this video. That is the Studienbüro, the study service website. All right. So see you sometime in the future, hopefully. And until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and bye-bye.